Hey there, currently in my Brussels hotel room ahead of a half-day workshop tomorrow. So it's a corporate client from the education sector, and they've brought together their sales and marketing teams from across EMEA to do a team offsite around a quarterly review. To finish off the quarterly review, they've brought in a large school group, and we're going to do a workshop around tackling the challenges that school group faces. It's quite a big workshop, there's 40 people, only a few representatives from the school group, so mostly the corporate client, plus a couple of other people from partners. So it's going to have to be a little bit different about how we make sure we focus on the school group, but they're only in a small minority of the people in the workshop. Because it's 40 people, I'm going to split them into groups. They're going to be working with one representative from the school group. And what we're going to do is work in teams to try and come up with solutions to the challenges that the school group faces.
I like this. I like this.
Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got planned. So as a basis for the half day, I'm going to start with AJ and Smart's Lightning Decision Jam Royale. That's not easy to say. Lightning Decision Jam Royale. So it fits perfectly in the half day. It's a really adaptable workshop to start with, so that's what I'm going to go for. Now, if you remember, I've got 40 people in the group. So the first thing is expert interviews, or who are my experts? Remember, we've got the school group and we've got then the corporate. So the school group are really the experts in this case. So those few individuals from the school group are going to speak first. And then what all the rest of the people are going to do is listen to them and write how might we statements so we can define their challenge. So that means that each of the school group people can hold court while the corporate listen to their client. Once we've then got the how might we, we're going to vote. Now for each of the votes, the school group person is going to be the decider. That will allow them to lead the challenges and the ideas in the direction that's going to be useful to them, so they don't just end up at the end of the workshop feeling like, well, that was great, but no use to us. Now, normally you'd have lightning demos in the Lightning Decision Jam Royale, but I've got 40 people. And in theory, if every person goes away, finds examples that address that particular challenge and then share them, we're going to be there for a lot longer than half a day. So what I'm going to do is switch out the lightning demos. And because we're looking at the school group wanting to sort of implement a plan around our particular challenge, I'm going to bring in long-term goal and key questions. So what that means is that everyone can create long-term goals based on what they've heard, based on the how might we they've chosen. Same thing, we're going to vote on the long-term goal. The school group get the deciding vote. Same thing with the key questions. So when we have a look at what are the barriers to stop us from achieving that long-term goal, everyone can contribute and think about ideas, but ultimately, school group again gets the deciding vote. So we hit break with a defined challenge in the form of a how might we, and we also hit break with a long-term goal and some key questions to solve. So after the recharge of the break, it's going to be about sort of an hour and a half to 2 hours in, we're going to then look at creating ideas. So how can we overcome those key questions, achieve that long-term goal, and everyone's going to contribute ideas. So what we're going to end up with is, in the 10 for 10, we're going to end up with 10 ideas voted for by the group, decided on by the school group to take forward. And that's for each team. So we've created 10 ideas for them to take away and try and implement. The final bit is the action board. So the action board is the impact effort scale. So each of the teams will take up the ideas that they've chosen, briefly explain them out to the rest of the group, and then will be directed by the school group person as to where they should go on the impact effort scale. So they can tell them left or right, up or down. So each of those 10 ideas will then get ranked by which is the most impactful, which is the easiest to implement. And at the end of the session, the school group can walk away with 10 ideas prioritized as the one that's going to be most impactful and the easiest to get off the ground. Sounds good as a plan, right? I'll come back and I'll let you know how it actually went, what I had to change, and whether I stuck to the plan at all.
I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this.
so here we are post-workshop. You obviously saw what I had planned. How did it go? So pretty much stuck to the plan, to be honest, though there were some changes to start times, number of people kind of adjusted, but that was all pretty much stuff I expected, so it wasn't too much of a problem. We had a few experienced people in the 3 teams that I'd created, so there were people there who kind of understood some of the processes and were helpful for getting people to write how might we's, place things up in the right way, allocate their votes. So maybe one of the things is I do need to think a bit more about co-facilitation, taking more than just me in order to like manage music, make sure people are kind of taking breaks at the right time, re-energizing people. So that was really useful kind of takeaway and something to think about in terms of who I take with me for these types of things. In terms of the outcomes, so we did the expert interviews and the how might we's, we did the long-term goal and the can we key questions. Got that goes up to a nice little break point. Then into the ideas, and we managed to do the action board and actually did it in less time than I had scheduled for. So gave them a bit of time back, which is always a bonus. And yeah, school group has got some useful takeaways and some nice conversations about what might come next. So all in all, got to be pretty pleased and on to the next one.